I don't think I've laughed this hard at a Marvel movie since Ant-Man. Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back. It is finally here, Ant-Man and the Wasp, the next step before Infinity War comes out, and let's just say it is so much fun. Right up top, it is so much fun. But also right up top, quick disclaimer on this. This is not going to be one of my usual reviews, just like it is with pretty much every Marvel movie. I really like to go into these movies just to watch them for fun, because to me, that is what they are. They are pure fun and enjoyment. I don't really dig deep into the whole Marvel comic book lore because I absolutely know nothing about it. And a lot of the time I just usually retain surface level information. If there's any Easter eggs, I don't really notice them unless they are something really big, bright, and shiny that I kind of connect with another Marvel movie. So it's all very surface level for me, so I'm not going to really dig deep into some of the themes or anything like that like I normally do with some other more complex movies. I don't like that term, but some other movies that I usually watch in here, sometimes I dig a little bit deeper, especially with my 1001 challenge. But with Marvel movies, again, it's all very surface level for me. I just absolutely love these movies for the fun, even if they're a horrible movie, which I don't think I've seen. Okay, I take that back. Both of the first Thor movie, the first and second Thor movies, I did not like at all. But for the most part, I just love all Marvel movies for their surface level fun. They're just such a fun ride. Can I say fun any more times? Let's just get on with the review. Straight off the bat, I do want to mention the fact that because I use MoviePass for pretty much all of my movie screenings, I got to the theater as early as I possibly could after work. So there were only like 5 rows in the front seat, so I had to sit in the very front, pretty much front middle, which was not a bad seat at all. The theater that I usually go to is really nice. It has reclining chairs. There's a lot of room between the front row and where the screen is. So you just sit in the reclining chair and you're kind of just laying there staring up at the screen. You're not really craning your neck at all, so it's not a horrible view. Everybody looks a little bit taller and it's slightly distorted. The original seat I had was on the very far corner, but there were also like a couple other seats open there. And the guy was like, hey, don't you want to sit in the middle? And the screen will look a little bit better, which I have sat on the corners for other movies, namely Pirates of the Caribbean, a couple last summer, I guess. It's been over a year since that movie came out. But it was very distorted and kind of hard to see on the curves because the screen does curve like this a little bit and then you curve like that. It's a whole weird thing. But it is definitely a much better picture in the center versus on the sides, so I did not have a problem watching this movie. Besides, the guy sitting next to me was shaking his foot the whole time and was basically shaking my chair, and it was really annoying. I guess that's something you kind of get when you go to a movie on opening night with a entirely sold out theater. So that stuff aside, I will give you my honest thoughts on this movie, which straight off the bat, like I said, it is super fun. I have not laughed this hard at a Marvel movie since I saw Ant-Man, which is kind of I don't know what the metaphor here would be or whatever to say, because I literally saw Ant-Man for the first time on Tuesday, so I haven't really watched any Marvel movies since then, but if I had watched them in order, okay, maybe Thor Ragnarok I probably would have laughed at a lot more, but I don't know. Court versus Michael Peña's character, they're both so funny. So it probably goes like Ant-Man, Thor Ragnarok. If I had been watching them in order, the way they premiered, I probably would have laughed at Thor Ragnarok harder than I laughed at Ant-Man or whatever. You know what I'm saying. I honestly have not laughed at a Marvel movie this hard since watching Ant-Man on Tuesday for the first time, but this movie is so much fun, so hilarious. The action is really great. What you see in the trailer is kind of what you see in the movie, but it doesn't feel like it because there are some extended scenes, especially in that car chase you see in the trailer. It is a lot of fun. Evangeline Lilly kicks ass. I absolutely love her. I have been a fan of Lost for the past 6 or 7 years. I want to say like whatever year the finale aired was when I actually started watching it from the very beginning, and I've since watched it through all the way 3 times. So I really love Evangeline Lilly. She's one of my favorite characters on Lost, and I was really excited when I heard that she was going to be in the Ant-Man movie and be a part of the Marvel Universe, even though I never actually watched the first Ant-Man until recently. But anyways, I love Evangeline Lilly, and I loved especially that she got to have a more action-packed role in Ant-Man and the Wasp because she deserves it. She can kick butt all over the place. And yeah, Michael Pena, like I said, is hilarious. He is probably my favorite character and very much stole the show for me in both the first Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's just the way he plays Luis is just, it's so funny and it's so unexpected. I never really thought of him as being, well, I don't know. He's been in other comedies and has been really funny, but I don't think I've ever seen him at this level funny. And I think the reason it's so funny is because the rest of the cast, well, Paul Rudd is really funny. Michael Douglas does get a couple good jabs in, especially in this one. He is very sassy, and I absolutely love sassy Michael Douglas. It's hilarious. The girl who played Ghost, she was really good. I didn't really get a whole lot from that character. They gave her a little backstory, but at the same time, I was just kind of, nah, she was okay. Slight spoiler alert here, Ghost wasn't really the villain. It was more of Walton Goggins' character, which you can kind of see that from the trailer, so it's not technically a super spoiler. She is a little bit of the villain, but then there's other things that happen throughout the movie, like with Michelle Pfeiffer's character. I don't want to spoil any of that because she has a really great character, and you just kind of gotta see what happens with her, and who knows? Maybe she's gonna be in Avengers Infinity War. Maybe she'll be in the third Ant-Man movie. If they're gonna make a third Ant-Man movie, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen because, spoiler alert for Infinity War, everyone's gone. Maybe she's gonna help save Infinity War, I don't know. But I wasn't super fond of the Ghost character. I mean, she was a great character, but villain-wise, not so much. Lawrence Fishburne, kind of just a there character as well. He kind of was a plot mover, I guess you could say, but still not like a super big character like the rest of them were, which is rightfully so because he is a secondary character, so he doesn't really play as big of a part as, say, Michael Douglas or Paul Rudd, or even Michael Pena, so maybe he's a tertiary character. I'm going way more deep than I thought I would. But Paul Rudd, the whole reason why I am surprised at myself for never having watched Ant-Man a long time ago, I am a Paul Rudd fan of way back, like Clueless and Friends and pretty much absolutely everything he's ever been in. I absolutely love Paul Rudd, and I didn't get these vibes in the first one, but in the kind of interlude scenes, there's a slight montage of him being on house arrest, which we know he's on house arrest from the trailers as well as Infinity War. There is a little montage of him hanging out at home, and I just got the most Mike Hannigan vibes from him. And if you don't know who Mike Hannigan is, do yourself a favor and watch the last 2 seasons of Friends. He is by far one of the best recurring guest characters on there. He's the best. Mike Hannigan is just, I will say right now, if you are a Friends fan, Mike Hannigan is Phoebe's best boyfriend. I know a lot of people will say Hank Azaria's character is the best boyfriend, but Mike Hannigan all the way. There's also a really fun shout out to a very favorite person of mine, John Green. There is a scene in that montage where Paul Rudd is laying in bed and crying, reading The Fault in Our Stars, and that just makes me so happy because John Green lives in my hometown of Indianapolis, and he's really big on Indianapolis, but it's also really nice to see John Green in a big movie like this. Super cool. There's that. Shout out to John Green and Indy. Story-wise, I'm not going to get super deep into the story because, of course, it's a Marvel movie. There are going to be a little bit of plot holes. It does explain a lot that happened in between Civil War and now. Not a whole lot. You do get a bunch of gaps, but you don't need to know exactly what happens to Scott and Hope and Hank all in that span of time. You just know it's been 2 years and Scott is on house arrest. So that's pretty much what it is. There is a little bit, though, at the beginning. They do go back and kind of reiterate a bunch of stuff that happened in the first movie. If you hadn't seen the first one in a while, it probably would have been nice as a refresher, but since I had only seen it a couple days ago, it was a little bit repetitive for me. It did go into a little bit more detail now that they actually had Michelle Pfeiffer on set to play the Wasp. Spoiler alert! They're doing a little bit of a flashback to when she went into the quantum realm, but it's literally the very first thing that happened. So if you're mad at me, whatever, I don't really care. But they do kind of reiterate a lot for the first maybe 5 or so minutes. They do kind of reiterate a lot of what happened in the last one. It kind of was a little bit too repetitive for me, but I think that's just because I had seen the first one so recently. But I think other than that, I just had a lot of fun with this movie. Again, fun. I need to have like a thesaurus. I need a thesaurus. Somebody send me a thesaurus. It was just a blast. There, that's my other word. It was a blast. It was just a ride. Literally, there was a part that felt like it would have been a ride somewhere. That felt like Space Mountain at one point. If you've ever been on Space Mountain, smashed with Rock and Roller Coaster from Disney World, kind of like that. Let's just go to the rewatch score and stop my rambling. Rewatch score for this is 100%. We all know I am going to say add it to my collection. It's such a blast, and you will just sit there and laugh the entire time. Well, if I'm thinking about it honestly, it's not like my favorite Marvel movie. It's not like up there. I kind of like Ant-Man a little bit more than this, even though, you know what? I haven't even thought about my answer for this. I haven't even thought about my score. I think I just automatically went with I'm going to add this to my collection. But it is a lot of fun. Evangeline Lilly does kick a lot of ass. There is a female bad guy, I guess, quote unquote. Yeah, I'm gonna say add this to my collection, even though if I were giving it a score, it would be a 4 out of 5. But rewatchability for me is a collection. I would watch this all the time for fun, just to get a laugh in or two. It's so much fun.
So much fun.
I think that is where I'm going to end this. Let me know what you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp in the comments down below. And let me know what your favorite Marvel movie is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, truly do appreciate every single one of you. Let me know who you are in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I love talking all things movies, TV shows, filmmaking, film history, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye!